Qualifying time here for the Catalan Grand Prix for round 6 of the MotoGP World Championship. Earlier than normal in a May slot, taking the one that Formula 1 usually has. We're at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Catalan Grand Prix. And qualifying is well underway, and we're now in the action zone as well. Let's see what we're going to have in this first session. Hopefully the timings don't blow on us during the session as well. The drivers have just done their first lap times out here on the circuit. In this session, Alex Marquez, Marc Marquez, Miguel Oliveira, Fabio Quartararo, Marco Bezzecchi, Raul Fernandez, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Augusto Fernandez, Johan Zarco, Takiki Nakagami, Juan Mir, Luca Marini and Stefan Bradl. So there's a really interesting manoeuvring around about who's going to get in this session for Q2. Only the top 2 progress, so in order to find the right action, it's going to be very, very entertaining and very, very close as well, actually, to see if they do change across the layout, because one wrong mistake and everybody knows it's going to be absolute disaster. So they will take it, they will take care, they will be careful, and they will all just prep to make sure that things will be okay. I'm hopeful that I'm going to press that, and then I'm going to press something that might also make it work, but I just realised it's locked, so I can't do it, as the background was annoying me because it wasn't the right one. So I'm trying to transform it as well back to it, so I'm just going to hit fit to screen, and no, didn't work. Great. So now I've got to do this really annoying thing of moving it into frame. How was that not fit to screen? Who on earth's designing this layout from MotoGP? There we go. There we go. The correct background for the Catalan Grand Prix now, as they circulate through. First lap times then for Marc Marquez, a 1:39.142. Fabio Di Giannantonio second, 1:39.327. Bezzecchi in third place, Mir fourth. So it's all starting to just take it through. Raul Fernandez, first sector and second sector weren't that great. Third sector was up by 0.061 as it comes across the line. Alex Marquez improving the first sector. Raul Fernandez, 1:38.903, but both Alex and Marc faster in the second sector as well, so they're still finding the deltas they need to improve upon. Timing screens, thankfully at the moment, are holding steady. Into the braking zone for turn 10 then for Alex and Marc. They're at the same segment of the track, and Alex is faster as well than Marc, so they're keeping it just okay. Digi fourth, and they're all improving on the deltas actually as well out here, so no one's at a disadvantage. If you're listening, by the way, for the first time on JB Motorsports, leading the commentary over on the British Touring Car Championship is Ben Edwards. I wish I was kidding. Ben Edwards is doing the trackside commentary this weekend, which means you get him for first and second practice as it comes through. And that is because we're allowed, because of our media pass, to take the trackside commentary. So Ben Edwards is doing it, which I find absolutely hilarious. Lap time cancel for Di Giannantonio to come into it. Oliveira is on a 1:38.930. Quartararo improving 0.3, and he only goes seconds. Quartararo goes into the brake zone there. 1:38.861. Raul Fernandez just down a little bit. El Diablo with the 20. The French fans watching on in the paddock area. Raul comes up towards the line then as well. Let's see if he's going to improve to come back through. Raul Fernandez is a 1:38.750. TV pictures have gone off again for them lot back there. 1:38.750, which is an interesting time between them. Raul Fernandez fastest, Marc Marquez second. They're the two going through by 25 thousandths of a second. Quartararo third, Alex Marquez fourth, Oliveira fifth, Di Giannantonio sixth, Bezzecchi seventh, Zarco eighth, Mir ninth, Nakagami puts it in 10th. Marini is 11th, then Augusto Fernandez is Stefan Bradl as well. It's still not on after a minute. So the commentary box. Right, we're going to have to hand over quickly to TNT Sports for a split second while we fix this issue.
Best rider that they think's available, which that's absolutely Fabio Quartararo, and yeah, it'd be so great to see Yamaha battling at the front.
Unfortunately, we won't see Cal Crutchlow on the bike in Mugello. Had to have an operation earlier this year on his hand, and it's just giving him a bit of jip, and it's been decided it's probably best that he doesn't take part in the wild card that he was supposed to have in the Italian Grand Prix. Still was testing with the team last time. And we also heard Fabio Quartararo make some comments about the possibility of a satellite team. He says, look, if it doesn't happen with Pramac or with whoever, but it sounds like Pramac is the only place it could be as things stand. If it doesn't happen, why don't we spend more money on the test team and get Cal a teammate, effectively?
Yeah.
And
maybe even Aleix Espargaro could be a direction that you'd look in that instance.
Not a bad shout at all. No, not a bad shout. It's going to cost a lot more to have let's say, a strong two-rider test team, but we know that you have to throw money at it at this level.
It's what KTM have done, isn't it?
That's exactly what they've done.
Your Danny Pedrosas and, co, whether it be a Jonas Volga, Mika Kallio, they've had a lot of people, haven't they, testing their bikes over the years. I noticed BMW went the cheap route, didn't they, in World Superbike. I've got Sylvain Guintoli alongside. Actually, Bradley will know. Bradley will be putting in a big invoice, so maybe they put all their money in there.
I've heard Sylvain's not shy when it comes into throwing in an invoice.
I'll double bubble himself.
Oh, double bubble, triple bubble. Yeah.
He is alongside us in the commentary box.
We say Michael Laverty's the hardest working man in this paddock, and I'll stand by that, but close behind him, Sylvain Guintoli, he's got a lot of work on. Right, so what happens now? I'll tell you. You sit and look at the times and you think, I am not safe, no matter where you are. The top 5 are covered by less than 0.2 of a second. So you know as a rider, I can find 0.2 of a second. And you know where you can find it. You can risk a little bit more, trail break a little bit more.
And the 5 riders we're talking about are Raul Fernandez, Marc Marquez, Fabio Quartararo, Alex Marquez here in shot, and Miguel Oliveira. Fabio Di Giannantonio half a second back, Bezzecchi 0.8 of a second back, and then you go into the Hondas of Zarco, Mir, Nakagami, Marini. Augusto Fernandez struggling a little bit, even though yesterday, I will say early on, Fernandez looked good. Did you see a little slip there from Quartararo? I was down in pit lane yesterday, and lots of riders that was happening to. It's where the tyre deposited from Formula One getting away from their pit stops, and there's a lot of sort of rubber on the top of the concrete that there is down at that part of the track, and it's something that does need clearing up.
This is where it makes it a little bit of a lottery as well, because you're going out in a group, so you can see obviously what Mark's plan is. Poor Alex Marquez, he's like, all right, I'll drag you around again.
Do you know what? He's one of the people I feel for most, because Alex is a bit, what can he say to his big brother? I suppose you can say.
Isn't it? As they
the fights for top bunks over the years, haven't they?
Yeah, and you can imagine Alex going, oh, hang on a minute, you're an 8 times world champion.
Well,
come on, surely you don't need to follow my
disappeared from them. Luckily, I'm back in the com box now as well. Sorry about that. We've had numerous issues. Now the green screen's acting up. You will not believe the problems that have happened in the last 5 minutes as well. Absolutely unbelievable. The internet went off. The Wi-Fi went off, not the cable that you're connected to, but the Wi-Fi itself went off. And now, because it's getting dark outside for some reason, despite it being 10 a.m., it's sending all our systems into absolute haywire. We don't know what on earth is happening. All the systems are playing up, and nothing can work right. So, yeah. Is the timing screen frozen? No, the timing screen's fine. Look, there's a red flag in Formula 3 as well. They didn't have the pictures. Hopefully on the second start they can get back to normal. But honestly, what a mess that today has been already. Back to the action, shall we? Because Raul Fernandez is on a 1:38.750. Marc Marquez is P2. No one improving. Raul's got the fastest first sector time at the moment. Drops down a couple. 0.054 for Marc Marquez at the moment, just changing it in. Raul's still pushing like crazy actually onto it. There's a few parts of the track where Raul looks really hooked up as he comes up towards Campster at turn 9, flicks the car in. See how much I've been doing Formula E this morning. Flicks the bike into turn 9, holds the inside line down. I am running on... Ooh, what was that? That noise surprised me. It's Alex Marquez's information graphic. I'm running on about 3 hours sleep. So I'm looking forward to 4 o'clock this afternoon when I can go to bed. To then do a 26-hour stint. Oh, don't you love the Indy 500, and then don't you love the Coca-Cola 600 as well? Right. Shakedown time now. Who's got the fastest out? Raul Fernandez is 2.5 tenths up as he comes into the last corner, boots it up towards the line, and his time goes as a 1:38.453. Marc Marquez 65 thousandths of a second down. Oliveira and Zarco both due to improve. Zarco estimated to go 6th fastest, but he's improved in that 3rd sector. Oliveira might just take it away here. If Trackhouse kick out both Grassinis, they are really going to be in trouble. Into the last 2. Boots it hard up towards the line. 2:19 left. Still time to do another run. Marquez goes 2nd. Oliveira goes 2nd. Mark's out of qualifying. Zarco 7th. Quartararo's P4 at the moment. Can he improve 3rd? Marquez starting 14th on the grid at the moment. Absolutely unheard of in this new Grassini era that Marc cannot get through in qualifying. Wow. Then again, remember he did the same thing here last year. He had problems in qualifying. Seems to be one of those things again, unfortunately. Just comfortably trying to see the difference. Look at this first sector. Alex Marquez up by 35 thousandths. Marc Marquez up by 95 thousandths. 38 thousandths for Quartararo as well. And now a 10th for Marc and Alex. Quartararo, will he stay? No, Quartararo stays in the thousandths. And now into the hundreds, so 26. Bezzecchi, 69 down as well. Getting a little bit hard to view as... Yeah, it looks like it's just cloudy. We need some stage lights in it when we do these ones. Up to the line then. Marco Bezzecchi trying to improve. 69 thousandths down. The 2 Grassinis lining each other up perfectly. Bezzecchi goes 3rd. Digi goes down the order into 4th place. It's going to be 16th and 17th on the grid for Marc and Alex right now. Marc's got the inside toe as they come into it. Towards the line. And is he faster or not? Alex Marquez goes up into 7th, and Marc does go 2nd. Lap cancel for track limits for Alex Marquez, but Alex Marquez sacrifices his own qualifying position to make sure his brother, Marc Marquez, goes through. Noble effort. Let's see if it happens or not. Keeps on trying to push. Red flags out in Formula 3. Could take a while to clean this one up, by the way, so it looks like I might get there as well. Is Digi about to spoil the party? Digi's 3 tenths up across the line. This could kick Marquez out completely across it. Oh, he's done it! Digi fastest by 2 tenths of a second. VR46 are electrified, but Marc Marquez is out of qualifying. He starts 13th on the grid at the Catalan Grand Prix, and he cannot believe it. We cannot believe it. Utter shock here in qualifying. Wow. You don't see that every day. And no one else is improving on their sector times either. Despair. Oh! And that's a 2nd crash of the day for Johan Zarco. So that's Zarco already out of it as well. And that brings out the yellow flag to stop anybody else's lap times as well. That spoils everybody's fun now. All changes here. Disappointing, yes. Expected? Yeah, kinda. Didn't exactly fill me with confidence, that last run out there on the screen. You knew there was issues. It was audible when it was coming through. And I'm just adjusting the battle screen. Oops. So that we can go to TNT shortly. What a run for qualifying now. I'll adjust. It won't be perfect, but I can adjust and make sure it's all alright. So first session of the day over. Look at that, new all-time lap record. 1:38.208, 3/10 faster than Aleix Espargaro, who did his time yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. It's not taken long at all to change it over. Okay, let's hand over to TNT Sports then as we get all the action and round up. Susie Perry's down there for us.
And they'll have to go again, and that's after a couple of crashes yesterday.
Yeah, fair play. Like I say, that's 0.3 of a second faster than what Aleix Espargaro did yesterday. If he can do another lap time similar to that, he should be certainly on the first two rows, if not the front.
The only GP23 up as Frankie Carcelli just looks on a little bit forlornly.
Well, he knows, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As in, you go, yeah, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Mark came from 13th on the grid to second last time out. That was at a track where you weren't just sat back trying to save tyres. The problem is now Mark he's going to have to attack really early on. He's going to have to attack hard. And then that's going to essentially mean you'll have no rear tyre left.
So our fifth row of the grid will be Alex Marquez, Marc Marquez and Miguel Oliveira. Sixth row, Bezzecchi, Quartararo and Zarco, who looked like he'd had a heavy crash. Behind them, seventh row, Fernandez, Augusto, that is, Taka Nakagami and Joan Mir. And at the back, Luca Marini and Stefan Bradl. So, Ralph Fernandez, just a quick word with his crew, but he's going through to Q2, Susie, alongside the flying Fabio Di Giannantonio.
Some session that was, wasn't it? Some session, really, that was. Hands up if you had Raul and Digi. Put your hands down, because no, you didn't. No, nobody had those two going through. But it was a terrific lap, wasn't it? Raul Fernandez. I wonder if Nat's interview earlier with Davide Brivio shed some light. But joking apart, this was a top performance.
It just shows you how competitive MotoGP is at the moment. You know, these guys are the lads that didn't go through in the top 10, so going to Q2, and they're smashing lap records. Unbelievable, both of them under their current lap record. Yeah. Great lap by Di Giannantonio. They're obviously adapting the bikes now to the track conditions. That GP23, you know, with that Michelin tyre, it's all blending in, and yeah, we're seeing some quick lap time. So, yeah, unbelievable pace.
It's great for Fabio Di Giannantonio to get that confidence moving through, and we know what he can do when things click into place, Michael.
Exactly. How he finished the 2023 season, it's been a bit of a frustrating start because the GP23 is new for him. His old bike, he had it dialed, and now it looks like something's clicked the last few weekends in VR46. He just looked, as Hodgie called it, he's in control, not rushing it, not spinning up too much, absolutely nailing a new outright lap record. And then the boost of confidence, he's got a top 12 grid start. He's got another opportunity. If he can put a lap together like that, again, he could be in the first two rows, then that changes everything into the race. So, yeah, I think for Digi, it's just coming at the right time. Marco Bezzecchi being put into the shadows somewhat by Digi, and this time last year, Bezzecchi was on everyone's radar. So, yeah, it's so how competitive MotoGP is right now.
Yeah, it really is. And to look at the Grassini tactics that ended up not quite working out, really, with Alex going out first and ultimately stopping his brother going through with that tiny mistake.
I thought that was a deliberate strategy, but I thought Marc, they're going to reverse roll in the second run, and they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, we saw Marc Marquez trying to use his brother as a tow, and he did, you know, improve his lap time behind Alex, but yeah, did not reverse the roles in the second time attack. And actually, he's going to be watching back Marc Marquez and seeing that in the last lap where Marc gave up, kind of like didn't follow Alex through. Alex went into posting his fastest lap time in the last lap, so he's going to regret that because the gaps were really tiny, and if Marc would have hung on to him, he could have gone through.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Marc can do. He went second last time out from 13th in both races, but, you know, it's going to be some ask around here to come through from 14th.
We said that in the one.
We did. just creating the jeopardy, Lav. That's what's going on.
He'll find a way. That's the thing. It is difficult to pass here as well, but a good start because it's such a long run to turn one, and Marc does jump well. He's always going to be aggressive in there. There's a few passing opportunities, and he'll find his way through, but it just makes the the possibility of being on the podium is so much tougher, but you just don't rule it out with Mark.
Yeah, I think a lot of people at home as well were hoping Fabio Quartararo might make it through. There were some glimpses there in that session. Sadly, he didn't make it through to Q2, but his teammate Alex Rins went straight through yesterday. Let's find out how Maya Meregalli's feeling about the next session.
Well, Maya, it wasn't to be for Fabio there. That was a tough session, changing over time. But look, we saw some good signs in Le Mans. You went to Mugello, some good testing and brought a new aero package here. Are we starting to see some good signs, some positive signs from the concessions?
Yeah, concessions are costing us a lot of effort. And we are really pushing also our rider to support us. But as you pointed out, it was a good test because we could really evaluate all the components that we were already tested in Jerez, and the result was positive. And here it's a pity that we lost yesterday the Q2 because when he crashed, then the second bike was set up in a different way, so it took him some time to get used, and then we lost this opportunity. We know that the Q2 is a very difficult session, and unfortunately the others could also help themselves, but we couldn't. And I think the lap time that Fabio did alone was good, but unfortunately not enough to jump in Q2. Anyway, we are disappointed, but we saw some good lights at the end of the tunnel, and this is really good for us.
And another one is Alex is in this session, so we'll let you get back to it. Thank you, Mayo.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, Alex is going out. Realistically, Michael, how big is this step that they have got to make? And what we're seeing here this weekend with the changes, in fact, talk us through the changes that you've noticed on the bike as
Obviously, aerodynamics is the big change you can see there. The front wing, it's a 3-tier system, a lot more drag, but it also gives a lot more downforce, so less wheelie off the corner. But it hurts their top speed, although this weekend Fabio's been top of the speed charts quite a few times this weekend. So they've also changed the aero body on the side, using a little bit of ground effect like KTM, like Aprilia, like Ducati, and that helps with turning a little bit. So it's an evolution. It's following how the European manufacturers are working. But as Mayo said, it's making them work really hard during the season to come up with the new parts, test them on track, then get them into race trim. So that's it allows them that process, but previously Yamaha would have slowly data gathered throughout the season.
Different ethos, isn't
completely.
it?
So they've got Max Bartolini in there driving he come from Ducati, driving the new sort of ethos in the team and how they have to evolve. They have to work faster, smarter, and get those results on track.
And what about this idea of having a test team, you know, having 2 top riders in there pushing? Do you think it's a possibility that might be knocking on Aleix Espargaro's door, for example?
100%. I think that's a great idea as well, especially if they're not going to get 2 extra bikes on the grid next year, which it looks at the moment that it's not happening. So if they don't get those extra bikes, having a reinforced test team. They have a test team already with Carl Crutchlow, and they have a test team that is already, fully operational. But if they were reinforcing this, adding another rider, making the team bigger, getting some personnel down there, engineers, making that stronger, it will help them to maximize that track time that they can get, and it will help them with the development, because at the moment they're still catching up. But as we said, we can see the first glimpse of things getting better. This aero package being validated by both riders and making inroads. So they're going to use the concessions, but for sure, a bigger test team, stronger test team would not do them any harm.
Glimpses of the future as Jorge Martin gets set to come out for this session then from his box, which is a very unusual box. It's more like an art gallery, modern art, and that's the extension of their Prima sponsor for 3 more years. And it would seem strange, Gav, wouldn't it, to announce this sponsorship and then switch to a different manufacturer. Stranger things have happened, but it seems as though Yamaha may well just have 2 bikes on the grid next year, unless something else happens.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it, but we don't know, do we, what goes on behind the scenes and what agreements are being made. But I agree with you, it would seem a long shot, however far down the road that got to with Pramac and Yamaha for next year, especially with those comments that Massimo Rivola making about it sounding like they're getting close to a deal with Enea Bastianini. So yeah, we will have to see. I wonder whether it be Martin or Marquez, though, who might ride that bike next year, because that could be another thing. Can they convince Martin to stay there? We will wait and see. That's for another day. For now, we need to decide who's going to take pole position Marquez won't be in the hunt, but Martin certainly will. Jack Miller and the KTMs look like they might have something this weekend, especially in one lap pace. We've definitely seen that yesterday. It was Binder, Acosta and Miller. All three were inside the top 5. I would not rule out all of them having a shot at the front row.
Yeah, I'm gonna really stick my neck out here, and I'm gonna go for Pedro Acosta. He's had the best race pace, and he's been on the front row already this year, hasn't he? He was second at America.
Cota, yeah.
So I'm gonna go, for the birthday boy, 20 today, Pedro Acosta for pole position. How about you, Gav?
I'm not quite sure. I think maybe it's hard to look beyond Martino and Espargaro. So let's go with an Aleix, just for a bit of romance, for a bit of story making here today.
Was he on pole last year? I know he won the sprint race, he won the main race, and he looked dominant.
It was Bagnaia who was on pole last year.
That didn't go well for him, did it?
No. Well, he was on the podium in the sprint, but then obviously had that horrible turn to crash, if you think back to last year, and then was hit by Brad Binder's bike. Horrible.
Second session underway then, and getting underway as we cut back to the qualifying screen. Let's see what's happening out here then. Medium front, soft rear for Binder. Well, everybody actually. The top 3, Binder, Acosta, Bagnaia. Softs front and rear for Miller and for Di Giannantonio, but he's got an old front soft on. Ralph Fernandez, new medium front, old soft rear. Everyone else brand new medium front, soft rear compound tyre, as you can see on the timing tower alongside. First lap times then of qualifying 2 for the Catalan Grand Prix. Let's see what they've got in store for us. Bastianini in here as well. No Marc Marquez. He's going to have to start from 13th on the grid, I believe. Everyone just making it through safely enough. Di Giannantonio being followed by Jorge Martin now as well. Digi being followed by the 89. Bastianini comes up towards the line then, sets the first time in this qualifying 2 session, and it's a 1:40.335. We know the times can go faster than that, so it's just a banker lap time there. Here comes Digi into turn 12, into 13, the last corner, New Holland. Binder 1:40.144. Miller 1:41.022. Acosta goes 4th. Digi across the line as well. Takes it up. Martin goes fastest, 1:38.401. That's a more representative time. Vinales 1:38.972. He too finding some pace. Bagnaia again, just 8/10 up as it comes across the line. Bagnaia goes second, front row. Martin again has that advantage at the front with a 1:38.401. Morbidelli in third, 1:38.874. 4/10 down on the overall deltas. So they are changing slightly out here in this 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Martin's already up in that first sector, so he's already pushing. So, runners so far, Martin, Bagnaia, Morbidelli, Vinales, Ralph Fernandez, Rins, Aleix Espargaro, Binder, Bastianini, Miller, Di Giannantonio, Acosta coming into it okay as well. Acosta's up by 24 thousandths of a second. Martin up as well, 0.122. Bagnaia up by 2/10 of a second nearly, so Bagnaia's really finding the pace. Acosta is estimated to go fastest overall here. P1 coming for the the rookie coming in is the word I was trying to look for. The young rookie. Youngster came in the middle of that for some reason as well, don't know why. Out of the last corner, up towards the line. Pedro Acosta, is he pole position? Yes! 1:38.369. Great opening lap time there, 32 thousandths faster than Martin, but he's going to go faster as well across the line. No, he's 36 thousandths of a second down. 4,000 slower than his own best time. That's consistency for you for Martin. Bagnaia's 3/10 faster though as well as they come into the last corner. New Holland up towards the line. Bagnaia 4th fastest, takes the line. goes fastest, 1:38.221. So 10th and a half faster than Pietro Acosta. Morbidelli goes 5th. Davide Tardozzi is happy with that one, punching the air in the Ducati garage as we come to the end of the first qualifying runs. Bagnaia, Acosta, Martin, Aleix Espargaro jumps to 4th, 1:38.681, the man who topped free practice 2 and the practice session yesterday as well. So still a little bit of time to be found, and data needs to be up there. 1:38.686 for Aleix Espargaro then. 4.5 tenths down on the run. So they will push once more with 8.5 to go. They'll come back into the pit lane now, change either tyres or bikes and head back out. A few setup issues as well. Aleix down will definitely be doing that. Martin, Acosta, Bagnaia might just start thinking, if I was a bit faster here, a bit faster there at this part of the track, just see what you can get hold of. 1:38.401 is that time for Martin. It's not that bad at all. And into the pit lane does come, I think, Pietro Acosta. Yeah, they're all coming in. There we see, I want to say Maverick Vinales punching, yeah it is, punching the air. Bat Mav, as he's now known. Still got the Maverick though for the Top Gun wings on his helmet at the front. So is he back to being Top Gun Maverick now? Is he finished being Bat Mav? Pedro Acosta watches his iPhone to see the timing tower. This is the youngster that's coming in as well, the gas. Knee down, elbow down. Right on the cusp of it as well. One thing I'm finding annoying right now is that the TV pictures are going off in the other commentary box for the Formula 3 commentators, but when I'm in there, they don't go off. The only thing I can think of is the adapter that is playing havoc. It's the only thing up here, because we've got 2 televisions side by side. Because the lead won't reach for the audio that you're hearing. So have to have a second monitor. Used to be a little tiny monitor, which was fine. Then that blew. So now I've got my 28-inch television in front, which isn't the best. Because I'd rather have the little monitor here in order to have everything sort of lined up. 2 laptops, the monitor, plus something's there, little table, that's fine. But it doesn't always work like that. Yeah. Changing in once more. Martin going to be changing into turn 7 then on the brakes. This is where Martin lost his 10th as well. Got his elbow down. Now I think we're just seeing he got his elbow down through turn 7. Oh, the bike was twitching coming up as well. Small shift on the front left side of the tyre. So it is only setup and tyre changes for Martin, Acosta and Bagnaia. Everybody else has changed the setup. They want to know where they are going wrong, how they can change the gap between them as well. Bagnaia 1:38.221. Martin is waiting. Second run's beginning for several riders. Martin, Aleix, Morbidelli, Vinales, Miller and Rins, they are still in the pit lane. They haven't come in. So they're all just going to be waiting patiently over the next 5 minutes. I want a quick off as well, actually, so just a reminder. Sprint race coming up later today. You can watch it live on JB Winter Sports 2. I wonder what we're going to see here from this little parade. It's a tantalising aspect, isn't it? That's what we're seeing. Gigi Dall'Igna watching on, sat back in the garage at Ducati, watching Bagnaia. Can he take another pole position? Get his championship back on track? Crashed in the last 2 sprint races has Pecco Bagnaia, the Spanish Grand Prix and the French Grand Prix. Who qualified from Q1? Raul Fernandez got through from the first session, and so did Fabio Di Giannantonio. He got through into second. So Digi went top, Raul Fernandez went second. They were the 2 who qualified from the first part of the session. Marc Marquez didn't get through. He starts this race, both the sprint and the feature, from 13th on the grid. Bagnaia starts a lap time. He'll have 2 runs. He's changed the rear tyre to a new soft. He's kept the front tyre as it was. That's what you can see on the graphic above me here in the commentary. And he's 85 thousandths down in the first sector on his own best time. Got to give that soft rear tyre chance to warm up, chance to heat up and get together. Breaks it down into the top at Repsol at turn 4. Uphill, triple apex turn 4. Only one of its kind. Down into turn 5 at Seat. Difficult downhill braking zone. It continually drops at a shallow, steep downhill segment over the bridge into 7 and 8. The chicane area where you can carry a lot of speed onto Campsa at turn 9. Usually flat out in Formula 1, but in MotoGP you really have to lift and push the back through there. Pecco Bagnaia carrying Ayrton Senna gloves and Ayrton Senna boots as a tribute this weekend. No idea why he chose this weekend, but he did so, and is so. And that was bad from Binder coming into turn 10. The rear of the bike stepped out. He did well to hold the front of it, but unfortunately he lost a bit too much time there. Up to the line, Bagnaia does well, it's not told us. TV picture all over the place. Ralph Fernandez goes fourth, 138.591. Bagnaia doesn't improve on his deltas. Binder across the line then. And going, oh, big accident into the barrier. And there's 2. It's both the Prima Pramacs. I don't believe it. The teammates have come together. Martin and Franco Morbidelli have crashed down together at the same part of the track. What was going on there? So Martin's going to go down first. He loses the front bike. And then he's going to get collected by Franco Morbidelli, who hits the same part. And Morbidelli's going to come in as well. Unbelievable. Both of the Prima Pramacs go down at the second turn. Brings out the yellow flags, and that might just stop it. Now, I'm not skeptical here, but I'm starting to think, is there some sort of oil down on the circuit? Martin, again, for the 3rd race running in qualifying 2 at the dying age, crashes. He crashed in Spain, he crashed at France, and he's crashed here at Catalonia as well. So that's going to be him winning the sprint race then, but not from pole position, I shouldn't imagine, because this is a yellow flag lap time cancel for Bagnaia. This won't keep him pole position, it won't. Yellow flags have been cleared. So who got a good lap in? That's the question. Aleix goes second. That's more like it for the man who has announced his retirement from MotoGP at the end of the year. 138 point. I can't tell you because the last 5 laps coming in. You can see it, I can't. There's no other timing screen. Jorge Martin will start at best these 2 races from 6th, and I tell you one thing, he may be a quick racer, he may be quick in the sprints, but is he World Championship material? Is he factory Ducati material? I do not think so. The mistakes are coming too frequently this season. They are coming too soon as well, because it's just qualifying after qualifying. Bagnaia holding on as well. He has provisional pole, and this is great news for him because he can run away with the sprint race for the first time in 3 races, and then he can run away with the Grand Prix tomorrow. But last time Bagnaia started on pole position here at Catalonia, it ended up with him nearly having a broken leg, getting run over by, guess who? Aleix Espargaro, who then went on to win the race last year. The race, of course, was red flags. Aleix Espargaro might take pole position actually as well. The checker flags out. Bagnaia is down by 0.2 of a second. Aleix is 0.05 of a second off the pace. Is it too late to dream that he could do back-to-back here with another sprint and Grand Prix win like he did not even 12 months ago? It was about 10 months ago. Aleix into the last corner. He'll take the checker flag. Miller's gone into 9th position. Martin and Morbidelli have crashed out of it. So what can Aleix do? Is in pole position as he takes the checkered flags? Yes! 31 thousandths of a second, and he shakes his head, and Aprilia are delighted. Aleix Espargaro has pole position for the Catalan Grand Prix. 138.190. 31 thousandths faster than Bagnaia. Fantastic qualifying lap time for Malaysia, and he can't believe it. He's announced his retirement. I wonder if he's second-guessing himself now. The lap time that was set in qualifying 1 has been beaten by 18 thousandths of a second. Bagnaia and Aleix separated by 31 thousandths of a second. And Bastianini goes into 8th. Martin will hold on to 6th position. Raul Fernandez isn't going to improve. Neither is Maverick Vinales. He'll start this race in 12th. But what a job. First pole since the Spanish Grand Prix last year for Aleix Espargaro. But at the track where a track last year which he won the sprint and the Grand Prix from as well. He will be in very fine form. Aleix is on pole, Bagnaia second, Binder third, Acosta fourth, Digi's fifth, Martin crashed down in sixth, Raul Fernandez seventh, Rins eighth, Miller ninth, Morbidelli 10th, Bastian 11th, and Vinales takes 12th place. We'll be back then for the sprint race at 1:55. British summertime. Join us for all the action from then. But it is Aleix Espargaro, the man who's announced his retirement from MotoGP, proving he's still got it and sets another all-time lap record. We'll see you later on for the sprint. Bye-bye.